Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a two-layered soap with tan and black. Here are all my ingredients and supplies. Let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and melt my coconut oil and my palm oil on medium-high heat. So the palm oil and coconut are melting, and I'm just going to stir until I have some small chunks in my pot. Then I'm going to take it off the heat. So I'm just stirring my oil here, and I forgot to mention I'm making the charcoal layer first. So you're going to want to make that layer first and then the tan layer last. I'm just checking the temperature to make sure it's 100 degrees plus or minus 10 degrees. So now I'm just going to add my olive oil to my melted coconut oil and palm oil. Now I'm just going to check the temperature of my lye solution and go ahead and pour that into my olive oil, palm oil, and coconut oil. Make sure you're wearing your gloves and make sure you're wearing goggles when you're doing this. And I'm just using a strainer to strain out any particles that are in my mixture. Now I'm going to go ahead and stick blend until it comes to a light trace. Now I'm going to add my charcoal to my batter. I incorporated the charcoal powder into 2 tablespoons of my oils. Now I'm just going to go ahead and blend that charcoal into my batter. I'm not really stick blending it, I'm kind of just moving the stick around because my batter's kind of thick already and I don't want it to get too thick, even though I need it thick for the bottom layer of the soap. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my fragrance oil to my batter, and the fragrance I'm using today is sandalwood vanilla, and then I'm diluting it with a little bit more sandalwood fragrance oil. I like the sandalwood smell, I like the vanilla smell, but I don't want it too vanilla smelling, if you catch my drift. Now I'm just going to mix the fragrance oil in the batter real well. Now that I have my fragrance oil mixed in with my batter, I'm going to go ahead and pour that into the mold. So we want this layer to be very thick, so when we pour our second layer on top, that it does not sink down into this first layer of soap. And I'm just going to bang it on my counter, get all the air bubbles out. Then I'm just going to scrape the rest of the batter out of the bowl and go ahead and pour it into my mold. I have all the batter in my mold. I'm going to go ahead and just wrap it and put it to bed in the oven. And my oven's not turned on or anything like that. I like to put it in there just to get it out of the way of the kids, and it also helps insulate that soap a little better. Now I'm going to go ahead and start making the second layer, which is going to be the tan layer. So I have my coconut oil, my palm oil, my cocoa butter in this mixture. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in my pot and melt it down on medium-high heat. Now once that's all melted, I'm going to go ahead and pour it into my mixing bowl. I'm just going to make sure I get all that oil out of that pot. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my olive oil and my jojoba oil to my cocoa butter, palm oil, and coconut oil. I'm going to go ahead and add my cocoa powder to my oils. So I mix 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder to some of the oils that I'm using for this soap. Now I'm going to go ahead and just kind of stick blend and get that cocoa powder, that color, incorporated into my oils here before I add my lye water. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my lye solution to my oils. I think I had to go pee right here because I'm like, I think I was doing a pee-pee dance. I'm not sure. I see my legs bending in the background. And then now I'm just going to stick blend until I reach a light trace again. Now I'm going to go ahead and add that sandalwood and vanilla fragrance oil and the sandalwood to my batter. I added 3 teaspoons to each layer. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my pumice stone to my batter, and I end up increasing it to 2 tablespoons instead of 1. I felt like it wasn't gritty enough for me. You might see me kind of dipping my hand in there and kind of feeling the grittiness to see if I put enough pumice stone into the batter. So now that my batter is at a light trace, it's kind of at a runny trace, I'm gonna go ahead and just finish stick blending, and now I'm gonna go ahead and just pour that batter, it's thick enough, into my molds. So I'm just trying to get all the extra batter out of the container so I can go ahead and put it on top. So now I'm just kind of smoothing out the top of the soap. Then I'm just going to wrap it up and go ahead and throw it in the oven overnight. So 24 hours later, I unmolded the soap and put it on my cutter on its side. And then I'm just going to go ahead and give the soap a cut. I don't know what I was doing here. I think I realized I need to tighten my strings before I cut my soap, so that's what I end up doing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut my soap and put it on a tray and let the bars cure for about 4 weeks so that they become really nice and hard and mild. I really enjoy cutting soap. But I do want to mention that my soap ended up getting glycerin rivers in it, and that's probably due because of I didn't really use a lot of water discounts. So I'm going to try to use more water discount next time, and maybe soap a little cooler, because my soap did get hot and it cracked on top. So there's the soap showing the glycerin rivers. The next soap that I'm probably making is either a lavender soap or a strawberry lemonade soap. So please watch those videos when I post them. And I really appreciate you guys tuning into my channel. Please subscribe, comment, and like. I'm open to any suggestions, advice. But thank you. Bye, guys.